What's up, guys? Thought I would just talk sharpening a little bit. Um, when you get into knives and you start spending money on knives, if you get into it much, you're going to want to sharpen your own knives. And I just did a video on this strop and sharpening system that I've made myself. Mine was inspired originally by a fellow YouTuber, Maddie the Goose, M-A-D-D-Y the Goose. He's not real active on there still, so I haven't talked to him, but I've sent him messages telling him thank you and everything, and I think it's just a brilliant design, and I've changed it up a lot for myself to fit my needs, but you know, this literally is going to replace most of this stuff for me, guys. Not necessarily all the time, but a lot of the time. If you get some sort of angle kit, this pouch and a lot of this equipment is the Smith's diamond angle holding kit, and I got away from using the angles a long time ago, well, within the last year, and I like to use them still by hand. The Langsky stones, I've had that in the past. I think the Langsky system pretty much falls apart, but I did keep some of the stones. The extra coarse diamond is useful, and the sapphire is useful. I use this right before stropping, or sometimes I go with my Arkansas stone right before stropping, but this is a jewel stick made diamond, extra coarse, and this one's really handy. You could mount it to a table or carry it. It's lightweight, so it would be a good portable sharpener, and a lot of these would make good portable sharpeners. And I've thought about that, and I got to thinking about that, and you know, I don't want to strap one of these to a knife. They are portable and small, but I'd rather have the system I just showed you. But I like to label mine old and new because I do get newer stones. The old ones are still good when you're pushing more aggressively and you're sharpening more aggressively. But again, these are portable and very usable for hand sharpening. You know, with this kind of stone, you don't need anything else. You can do large knives, you can do small and medium knives, you can do any knife. And the diamonds are more aggressive for if you're going to want to put a new angle or a new edge on a knife, or bring an old knife with chips and rolls back to life. But again, with the system, you can use more aggressive sandpapers or anything you want to bring an edge back. So it really does, for me, eliminate most of this stuff. If I'm not at home, I'm not going to carry this crap camping or bushcrafting. I have a few oils in there. I've got Otis from gun cleaning, Break Free from gun cleaning, Rim Oil from gun cleaning, and this is another by Jewel Stick, the maker of this. Really cool, good portable system. Pops out of its own handle, goes back into its own handle, and it is curved, if you guys can see that. And so this would handle a lot of different sharpening needs. I got this because I'm going to get a hook knife or a spoon carving knife soon, and I think I'll end up going with you know, woods and sandpapers, and making circular pieces of wood that I can mount sandpaper to or use adhesive sandpaper for. But again, this is semi-permanent. They make them with 3 sides and 3 grits. This one is a 1 grit. I would say it's a medium, or maybe even a fine. But this is a great little portable, super lightweight sharpening system that stores in its own handle to protect the diamonds. That's another thing, you don't want diamond rubbing up against diamond. Hush! Sorry about the dogs. And so you do need some way to separate these too. You wouldn't want to just throw 3 of these stones in a pack or in a sandwich baggie. They're gonna hurt each other. You know, this one has a protective case. They all need something. Let's see, this is another great portable sharpener. This one's pretty usable. This is made by Istor out of Switzerland. I-S-T-O-R. Kyla, hush! And I've labeled it. It's got a coarse side and a fine side diamond file. They call it a file right here. And then a tungsten carbide sharpener here. This is marketed marketed as, from what I've seen, an all-around sharpener, but it's mainly marketed for gardening tools. And the tungsten carbide, you guys are probably familiar with the pull-through sharpeners. They have their uses, but they're not that usable. I wear one. I've done a video on this one because I do think it looks pretty cool just as a man charm on a necklace. It's made by Ready Edge. Those are tungsten carbide right there, and you can pull a V-edge knife through there to sharpen it. I didn't give it the best review in my video. I again think it looks cool, but I would probably rather use a creek stone that was flat, the flattest creek stone I could find, before I would use this. But you know, if you had an axe in really bad shape, or a large knife with a bad chip or roll, this tungsten might come in handy, being that you can use it yourself. It's concaved a little bit, so that when you're using it, it's not flat right there. You're using either this side or that side. You're using one of the edges to do your sharpening, but it's not really as light as it could be. It's some sort of a metal or steel handle. I think they advertise it as aluminum, but it just feels heavier than that to me. I don't know. Maybe there's, I'm no expert. Maybe there's different aluminums, but aluminum is typically lighter than titanium. So I don't know. It's pretty heavy for what it is. It could be a lot lighter. It's probably twice as heavy as this sharpener here, with less diamond real estate. But really cool, really nice grip. I like the way that they designed it, you know, for using it. I think it's real cool that they put a lot of thought in that. The Swiss make some nice stuff. Anybody who's ever had a Swiss Army knife, which is just about all of us. I guess that's about all the stuff I have in that bag. This is a CRKT Guppy, which is too heavy and pretty much useless. The knife doesn't lock. The flashlight with bits falls off. I don't know. It's okay. But, you know, a couple other just little sharpening options that I do have. I have a couple of oil stones. They're such a mess. You can see all the oil and slurry and sludge in there that comes out of them after you wipe them off and put them away. And if you buy just an oil stone, like if you go to Harbor Freight or somewhere, you need to build something if you want to hold it well. And I just glued these down and made them real tight. I held them in place with nails to make sure I had a nice tight fit so my stones don't move around with any slop. But yeah, it's just not that convenient. I even like carved a little gully there to catch all the oil and grit and crap, and you can just see, I mean, I don't want that anywhere near my knives, really, you know. And if you're sharpening folders and you have all this grit and slurry and mess going everywhere, and you tilt your knife up, it's going to fall right down into the bearings or the lockup or the tang. Everything that touches metal down in there is just going to have a risk of burnishing against itself or whatever with that oil stone grit. But there's a million ways to sharpen, guys. There's a million. You can get really confused and overwhelmed. I was kind of at that point with all this crap as far as which grits should I go through. You know, I typically go with the coarse diamonds, then the fine diamonds, and then I go to, this was before my new sharpening system, then I go to this sapphire, they call it. It's a ceramic. And then I go to my fine Arkansas Smiths, which it's fine, but it's not the finest Arkansas stones. There's the translucent, and the blacks and the whites are a lot better than the grays. From everything I understand, this is more of a medium. But from there I would go to stropping, and you know, like I said, if I'm in this, I would include up here with resetting an edge with the coarse. But it can get confusing with all the crap: water stones, oil stones, glass stones, diamond stones. And you know, go look at my video on the strop. Go look at Matty the Goose's video. Make your own sharpening system. It's more than easy. If anybody has any questions or just wants to chat sharpening and equipment, get at me. And please sub. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it's beautiful where you are. Great day.